Hi, this is Simon from Harvie, and I have with me here is Ford from Sustainable Harvest Farm, and he's in Kentucky, and he's going to guide us through his delivery process. So he's really going to go through it. This is the middle of season right now. It's August, so he's in the middle of like melon harvest and all that great stuff, and he's setting up his harvest estimate for next week. He's going to be talking to you a bit about that, and so I'll turn it over to Ford here. Ford, can you give me like a little 2-minute introduction of who you are, where you are, and why you chose Harvie?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me, Simon. So my name is Ford Waterstrat. I am a certified organic grower in southeastern Kentucky, kind of sandwiched in the middle between two major cities. Both cities are about an hour and a half away for us, so we do a lot of business in both cities, and then also kind of in a rural community. But this is our 10th year doing a CSA, and but we've had a slow progression. I was teaching full time, and so 3 years ago I went full time farming. So it's been exciting development, and season's going well. We have about 200 CSA members this season, and then quite a bit of wholesale, and then some retail stuff and farmers market. Next year we plan to expand to 300, and then 2020 to at least 400. So that's kind of our plan of progression, and looking forward to it. So there's only half a dozen established certified organic farms in the state, and all of us are good friends, and all of us are kind of competition for business. So I decided I've been using Small Farm Central, and several other farms had been using Small Farm Central for pretty much since our existence, and we're really happy with that. But I was kind of the youngest farmer in the group, and the one that had the hardest time connecting with customers because I'm so far away from our customers. So I really wanted to not only offer something that my competition didn't have, but also I wanted to have a higher retention rate, because it's hard when you're an hour and a half away from a lot of your customers to gain new customers. So we said, man, what can we do? And Simon was publishing some pretty cool stuff about keeping retention rates high, and started finding out about Harvie and the customizable CSA. So, I said, well, shoot, we're just getting started doing this full time. It's now's the time to go for it, and to change the wave and be kind of a pioneer in our area, about being a customizable CSA. And so I told all the other farmers, said, hey, I'm going to go for it. And they said, you're crazy. And then fortunately, all the farms in the area decided to, pretty much all the larger certified organic farms in the state decided to all do customizable, and all of us went about it a little bit different way. I'm keep trying to convince the other farmers to utilize Harvie, because I just think it's not only is it just a great software, but the support is wonderful, and just a great bunch of people to work with. So that's kind of where we're at right now, but loving it. We did a winter season in 2017 with Harvie, and we did this full season with Harvie, and I can't say enough great stuff about it. So
Great, thanks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all that growth in the next couple of years. So that's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna guide you. So you're gonna guide us through your delivery, like I said. And what we're looking at here is the Harvie administrator area, and this list is all the deliveries you've created. So it looks like you do a couple different estimates and deliveries during the week, and then you're going to start by. So what is this? So it's Monday today, and so what are we doing a delivery for? What day?
Yeah, so we're gonna create our delivery for our Thursday delivery, which is pretty cool.
Okay. So you can get started. I think you were going to use the copy function,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite functions, especially where we're doing multiple delivery days, is just the copy delivery button. So I'm gonna hit copy delivery, and I'm copying a delivery that we're just packing right now, that's going out for delivery on Tuesday.
And so we work with each farm we work on a schedule for each farm, and lots of training. And I know we did training with you, and maybe not as good as we should have into your fall CSA, but certainly, we've sort of gotten that down over the last couple deliveries. But so we work with a schedule about 2 to 3 to 4 days ahead of time. Farms usually set your estimate. So you're setting it about 3 days ahead of time. So that's about right on schedule.
Yeah. And some weeks, we're even able to schedule it earlier out. Just, we have enough judgment on what's in the field and what we have available.
Has that been a problem? Like, I know one thing that farms have told me they're afraid of maybe is being able to know what they're going to have to harvest 2 to 3 days ahead of time.
I don't think so. I think most of I'm probably the least experienced farmer using Harvie, so I feel like, it's pretty easy to go out and just give a judge of what you got in the field and what should be coming. So, I guess that was an initial worry, but now that I'm so used to using Harvie and predicting out, it's just like clockwork, and then, I haven't had a problem with it at all.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to select a delivery date here, which it's for the Thursday delivery, so I'm going to click Thursday. And
you could do, I know you don't do this, but some farms will do multiple days in the same sort of delivery. So maybe they'd have like a Friday, Saturday delivery, and they'll do this together. Just sort of giving that extra context for people.
Yeah. I've thought about doing that, and the only thing I haven't ever asked about, just because I make it work anyways, is, if I go down here to the bottom of my screen, it's like the cutoff time. I don't know how to make cutoff times different for those two different deliveries.
Well, the cutoff time would have to be the same. So, then that's, so it only would make sense, for people that are packing. Sometimes people pack multiple days on, so say they have a Wednesday and Thursday delivery, but they pack them both on Wednesday, then the cutoff time would have to be the same for both Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So these are the different shares that are going out we're creating the delivery for. It tells you different sizes, different types of shares. And then down here at the bottom, I have my cutoff time, which the first couple of deliveries, I forgot to change the PM to AM. So we pack shares, around lunchtime or something like that. So I changed my cutoff time. So our delivery day is the 23rd, but I want to give them almost as much time as possible. So I'll give them to the 22nd on Wednesday until 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning to finalize their share. And so that way, Monday morning at 8 o'clock, I know exactly what I need to go out into the field and pick. And then, we've got our, all the shares. We can print off all the stickers for them and go for that. So the next step I would take is just double check I got A in there. Make sure I got my Thursday, and then I hit submit. And then, so then the really cool function that I'm really liking is the farm happenings. They're kind of like almost like a blog that we can create and send out with the orders. And I think, I think, so, these are different like backlogs, ones we've used in the past, and sometimes I'll just delete old ones or edit it, but I think that's the one that we're using. I'll have to come back and edit this later or take a look at it. I can't remember if I'm using this one or not. So just for now, I'm going to hit no farm happening for this delivery. And I might go back and edit this. Is it okay to do that, Simon? Maybe not. Well, do you want to see a finalization?
No, that's okay. That's okay. I can just explain that.
Hold on one sec. Here,
I don't want to rush you.
Okay.
I want to make sure you get it right. It's okay. So that's August 4th, so that's probably an old one.
Yeah. I thought it.
So yeah, there's the farm happening. So with the farm happenings, these actually go into the email that goes out. So after Ford sets his estimate, then an email will go out to each member, and this is right at the top of that email.
Yeah. So I don't want to hold up the conversation here, so I'm going to go ahead and just use that one. Let's see.
Yeah, you can just close this window because that's like it opened in a new window there.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to complete estimate, and this is those shares that I was going to work on, and this is the list of all the different things that we use that we're packing right now for our Tuesday delivery. So just to back up and slow down a little bit, I use the copy function from my delivery earlier this week, and these are the things that went out that are going to go out tomorrow on our delivery. So this is a copy of the delivery. So what I do now is I just kind of look at these different things and see, what I still have available. So our basil's starting to kind of peter out a little bit. We have plenty of it, but not all of it's good quality. So we have like, I think 85 boxes, it's like 100 and something boxes that go out on Thursday. So I'll maybe give them 20 basil because I know I can find at least 20 good basil plants. Eggplant's really starting to peter out. So I know I can get at least 20 pounds. But let's say if I said, okay, I went out to the field and I evaluated and said, well, I know I can get 40 pounds out of it. So, I might type in 40. But just to be safe, because our eggplant is slowing down a little bit, and people had a lot of eggplant earlier this season, we're kind of just keeping that at 20. And the cool thing about Harvie is the people that really want eggplant, they're going to get eggplant in the shares. The people that could kind of take it or leave it, they're not even going to have to bother with eggplant. Okay. All right. So the next thing on our list is we have some speckled Roman Roma heirloom tomatoes. Those are doing pretty well. So I'm going to put 70 pounds in there.
So to give a little context, and you can keep going on this as I talk, but so you're basically you're saying this is all the crops that could possibly come out of the field for that Thursday. And when you send this on, the Harvie algorithm is going to match that against the pre-existing preferences of each member and give them hopefully the perfect box for them. And we have some statistics that Mike was pulling out that show how well this algorithm actually does in giving people what they want. So it's pretty different than a standard CSA share. I mean, because you did it in the past where you were saying like each box gets 3 eggplant and everything like that. I mean, how do you find this process versus that old process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really like this process a little bit more. To me, it's a little more streamlined, and also, so I guess in full disclosure here, I have more than 70 pounds of speckled Roman heirloom tomatoes out in the field, but I also sell them, to restaurants and grocery stores and whatnot. But I know that 70 pounds of heirloom tomatoes will more than satisfy my customers' desire for the heirloom tomatoes. So, I'll put 70 pounds in there, and then, we have more than that, but I think most people are pretty happy to get that.
Can you go down to the bottom? Do you use the thing where it says like target value and total value at all?
Yes. Yeah. So I love that function. So the target value tells us, how much dollar amount of stuff we should have in the CSA share, and the total value tells me how much value I've put into the whole, software, I guess. So lately we've been hitting like $5,000-$6,000 maybe of total value that we're putting into the system, and the target value, would be $2,700. So it's kind of like some weeks we really overload the system, give people tons of stuff, and I don't know if I'm doing that right or not. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Should I try to hit those values pretty equal, or?
Well, so, it's not going to put in the box as much more than that target value, like plus or minus 5%. So that extra value, if you did put, say, $5,000, we'll see what you do here, I guess. But if you do put that $5,000 in, it's just not going to put that in the box. That will be available for swapping, for purchasing of extras. I think in that little bubble there, it says 10 to 20%. We recommend at least 10 to 20% over. Okay. So, if you were at 3,000, that should be good. But it doesn't really matter. You can put as much in it as you like.
Yeah. I always like putting the more stuff in so people that wanted to buy extras could. I always like that function too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go, I guess, kind of continue on looking through my share stuff here. So watermelons, we have I think 105 or something like that CSA shares that go out, but I'm going to put 110 in there just in case someone wants to buy an extra one. And so these are big watermelons too. These aren't like the standard, these aren't the sugar babies that we're doing earlier. These are pretty big, like crimson sweets. So we're putting I can change the dollar value to whatever I want to, and how we actually get those shares, watermelons in the shares without crushing stuff is another complication. That's all good. And so spaghetti squash, we just added spaghetti squash last week. So, some people really like it, so we put in a lot. And then we have regular standard tomatoes down here. I'm going to add.
Those are a little lower price, it looks like.
Yeah. And actually that's, yeah. We actually dropped the price on those just because we feel like, whoops, you know, the farmer's market price in our area right now for a regular standard organic tomato is about $2. And we got green beans. Last picking of those, so I actually have less than 60 pounds for this delivery. I only have 30 pounds. Sweet corn. That one is kind of, I have a tougher time estimating that one just because, you know, raccoons can come in overnight. So I'm always a little bit hesitant to put too much on a sweet corn, but I know I have at least 50. I have like, I'm just going to say 200 ears of sweet corn at least out there. It's kind of a bad planting. But so I put mine over here. It says 4 ears of corn. Usually it'll be 6 ears of corn. And so I know I have 50 bunches, or I don't know what the best way to put this. I have 50.
Yeah. 50 bunches or something. Bunches of corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and if I wanted, I don't know why I put that in as pound, because you know we don't really.
Maybe an each would be the right thing to do there.
Say it again.
And each because it's like 4 years of corn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was afraid that the each would confuse people and be like, "Why am I getting?" So I'm going to put bag just because that works.
There you go. That's pretty clear. Or bunch, yeah.
Okay, and then mixed bell peppers. So just like standard bell peppers, put 80 in there. Okay, and then so that's kind of the stuff I had earlier this week. So I want to add a few things to my delivery this week. So I'm going to click Add Farm Product, and then there's a huge, you know, drop down list of different things on here that I can add. And so before this phone call and before, you know, setting this delivery, I went out to the coolers and went out to the field and just kind of and talked to some of the guys and asked them, okay, how much like we had yellow squash and zucchini starting to come back in. So I asked them, I said, how much of that you think we got? I went out in the field and kind of checked earlier the week. So I'm going to put in zucchini. And another cool thing I like is I can override the description here. Just because I've got zucchini, I've got yellow zucchini, I've got yellow summer squash. So we just call it I think a squash medley, I think is what we ended up calling it. Summer squash medley. So, you know, it's like a mixture. I don't really want to have to, as we're packing shares with so many different things, I don't want to give people the option to have yellow squash, yellow zucchini, green zucchini. So I just, you know, this is me probably being lazy, I guess, but I just said, okay, we can call it a summer squash medley.
Sure.
And that's now the title, you know, they kind of get a mixture of stuff. And I'm going to say I've got, let's say, 70 pounds. Let me check my list here real quick. Yeah, so let's say 70 pounds of total product there at didn't think about pricing. I think we sell at $2 a pound. So 70 the pound, $2 per pound. Okay. And then adding a couple other things here. I've got let's see. Cherry tomatoes. And so I'm putting it under the category of tomato, but I'm also going to title override this, which I'm put cherry tomato pints.
And then these title overrides will propagate through everything, including like your pick lists and your labels and everything that come out the end too.
And I haven't really evaluated specifically my pints bunch, can put in 50. And those are, shoot, I think we're selling $3 a piece. Okay.
Do you want to change that from pound to pint?
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
So it's the one above it.
Thank you. Oh.
You got the wrong one there.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry.
Thanks. It's like when you're having your teacher look over your shoulder doing stuff.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's see. And I've got potatoes.
Nice.
Let's see. And I'm just gonna, I've got several thousand pounds. So I'm just gonna put out let's see, we were putting them in 2-pound bags. So I'm going to title over it again. I'll put 2-pound bag of potatoes. And I'm going to say, since I got about 105 members, put 110 of them in there. And that's I'm going to change it to bag because I've got like the 2-pound bag thing over there. And that would be it's $2 a pound. And I have 2 pounds in there, so I keep the price at $4. Okay, and then let's see. What else do I have here? Garlic. Let's see, I got a whole bunch of that since we threw out 110. And put it each. I can't remember what price. I think it was like $2 each, we'll just say. So close to that. Let's see. Okay, got garlic, spaghetti.
Got a bunch of new stuff today.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like garlic stores pretty well. We put some in early in the season. Now I'm like, okay, well, it's getting close to the end of the season. I want to sell it, and customers haven't had it in a while, so I'm gonna put it back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? I've got some cantaloupe. Put it as I've got a few cantaloupes. Let's say not very many at all. We put in a lot of cantaloupe earlier in the season, and so I got, let's say, 20 cantaloupes I can give out to my customers. Let me see. We'll just double check here. Bell peppers, potatoes. Yeah, I think that's it here. And then no, acorn squash. So winter squash. And title override that and put acorn. And let's say I don't want to overrun people. I'll put 80 in there, and then $4 each. And that is pretty much it. So I didn't quite get to the 5,000 level like I was talking about, but that's pretty much it as far as creating the delivery. Should I go ahead and complete that?
And you can go back. So just click complete edition review. You can go back and edit this if you don't want to send it yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay, so extras.
Yeah. You want me to talk through that, or would you like to, son?
Yeah, no, you can talk through it.
Yeah, so this, and I'm not quite sure why, I think it copies, all right, so these are all the different things that I had in the shares, plus some other stuff that I have on inventory that I like to sell to my customers. Okay, but I know I don't have enough basil left, so I'm unchecking that one. We have plenty of grass-fed beef, so I'm leaving that checked. I want people to be able to buy that.
So this is things people can buy above and beyond their box, right? So they can just purchase it, it gets charged right to their credit card, and will get put on labels and everything. Do you find people are using this a little bit?
Yeah, quite a bit. We haven't offered too much extras. We sell a lot of meat through the winter and stuff, so we haven't put too much up here. But yeah, we do a couple $100 every week in meat and extras, and then sometimes we'll have we'll put canned products up there, and people tear those canned products up. Salsas and marinaras. But I'm kind of nervous about letting all those go yet. So.
And everything, so it's the extra inventory from your delivery also flows right through into extras. So if there's what do you have a lot of, like those potatoes or something, then people can buy extras or whatever. Right.
Yeah. And so there are some people that really take advantage of that. I mean, it's funny. We'll be packing our shares, and one of my helpers will say, "Man, what are we going to do with this box? We need like 2 boxes for this one person, because I get so many extras."
Mm-hmm.
And then so we have to kind of figure that out. But yeah, that's cool. Some people really take advantage of the extras, others don't. But I think others aren't taking advantage of it because they're getting the ideal box already, and it works out well for them. So it's great. All right, but let me carefully just go through these here. I'm a little nervous about putting I'm not even extra inventory on the heirloom tomatoes, watermelon. I'm going to take that off because I have a buyer that pays a lot of money for extra watermelons. Lunchbox peppers, I don't have any extra of those. And I think I could not check these since my inventory is 0, and I don't think it ever offered. But I just like to do it just to be safe. We got honey apple sauce, so I'm gonna leave that on there. Butternut squash marinara. Got plenty of spaghetti squash. Rotten tomatoes, green beans. Don't have any sweet corn. Let's see, cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna take the potatoes off my extras, even though I got plenty of inventory. Just kind of making sure those hold on for the rest of the season. And I got other places to sell it. Garlic, I can sell plenty of garlic. I'm gonna leave the cantaloupe on there. Like that didn't automatically go in anybody's shares, and the acorn squash, I'm gonna leave that on there. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save extras. But if I wanted to, let's say if I have, a whole bunch of fennel or something like that, I could add fennel on there that I just want to sell as an extra that doesn't go with CSA shares, which I haven't really done that. But so click Save Extras. All right, and then this gives me all the kind of total shares. It's really cool. It tells me the average price of the box, which that box is valued at $27, and it's creating the box at $27.01. So that's pretty amazing. This one's like 8 cents low, but I mean it's really slick how it works. And then what I typically
keep going forward. I have some sound. I'm going to ask them to calm down a little bit. Just a second. I'll be right back. You can keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah. But so what I would typically do now is hit send members emails, and it sends out all my customers an email that has exactly what they're getting in their share this week. Actually, Simon, one thing I didn't show people is all the different cooking options and storage tips and stuff like that. Do you want me to go back to that?
No, that's okay. We can. Okay. I can do that another way. So if you go down a little bit, let's show them how the boxes are. I don't know. You probably don't look at them too much, but it's going to tell you that Jackie Walters. This is exactly what Jackie Walters got in her box, right? So
yeah.
There's really no reason to review it, but it does show you it there of what each person got based on their preferences.
Right.
Right. See that.
Yeah. And
go on. No, you.
Well, I was just saying that it's really cool because this share is built for that person specifically. They can still go in and customize it afterwards, but a lot of people aren't. They're finding like, man, this is the ideal box. I don't really want to change it. And one thing that I didn't do a good job educating my customers about that. They're like, well, I don't understand this customization thing. And I'm like, well, it's already kind of customized for you, but it's like, I need to do a better job educating them and let them know it's already custom packed for them.
Right.
It's great. Most people don't change much around at all.
We see on average, about 43% of the shares are customized, just to give that sort of like bigger picture piece. So, yeah. Okay, great. So if we go back to the top, anything else to mention on this? You're going to go back and edit it. I guess basically what happens is once you click send member emails, an estimate email is going to go out to everyone who's getting a box that week. And then they'll have until Wednesday morning to make their changes. Then it gets finalized, and then you have the pick list. Maybe click on that preview pick list button so they can see the pick list.
Yeah.
So this is what you give to your field team to start picking on Wednesday morning or whatever.
Yeah. It's great. And yeah, it's cool, and I love it. It tells me exactly what I need to go out and pick. Like most people, we pick just a tiny bit extra in case someone miscounts it in the field. But and I can make it a PDF, or I can just copy and paste this into Google Docs or something like that, and they can just look at it on their phone out in the field or something like that. So it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, I think that's a really good overview, and there's a lot more details to it and a lot of other things, but I think that should give people like a really great idea. Any other closing thoughts? Anything else?
There's just the surface level cool part about Harvie. I could go on and on and on, but I think that gives some good overviews of it. But if anyone ever want to contact me for information, I'd be more happy to talk to them about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your support, and good luck with the harvest. I know you got to go pick up the kids from the bus stop, and but I really appreciate it, Ford. I'm gonna end it here.
All right. Thank you.